for more flattening the coronavirus curve. Joining us on the program is Professor Tomori, a virologist, Chairman Expert Review Committee on COVID-19. He joins me now via Zoom from Ibadan. Thank you for joining us on the program.
It's my pleasure.
Now, the PSC confirmed 32 cases of the Delta variant in Nigeria yesterday, with the highest number in Akwa Ibom State. And it says from returning travelers and also local transmission. Is it surprising that we're seeing this resurgence, especially in the southern state?
Well, I think, first of all, I think it's important that we know that it's not the states you're talking about where the problem is. I think we should have been proactive enough that it's a national problem, not just for Lagos. Akwa Ibom was not even on the list before. But now, just looking at the data that we have here, in week 28, Akwa Ibom had only 28 cases. Now the number has shot down to 200 and something. I think our problem is that we're not proactive enough. We don't take the data we have, analyze this quickly, and use it to plan response. And that's what is happening to us. If you go back, I mean, some of the data we have, we should have known weeks ago from week 25, for example, the number of incoming passengers who are testing positive has been increasing. So also the number of outgoing passengers who are going out of the country, also the positive rate has increasing, which means that the thing is spreading. It also means with the incoming passengers, we are bringing in more cases. But then even our studies, to show when this COVID Delta arrived in the country, we're like about 4 or 5 weeks behind identification. And that's the problem. Because by the time we detect what is happening, it will have spread all over the whole place, and we're not in a position to control them. And that's why we advised the government a long time ago, test people on arrival. And then you can follow up the few that need to be followed up. Not telling people come back 7 days later and then you discover you don't know what they have been in the 7 days. You don't know whether they're in isolation. So we are creating the problems for ourselves, and we should be ready for the repercussion.
Some of the measures the Presidential Steering Committee talked about also was promising to publish, names of travelers who had violated their travel protocols, also those who have evaded quarantine. Is that not sufficient?
That is medicine after death. They will have transmitted the thing by the time you publish their names in the papers. Those people will have been all over the country and will have spread it. The aim is to prevent them from spreading the disease. It's not putting their name on the list after they have spread the disease. And that's the point we're raising. Catch them before they become a problem. Putting all those things on. In any case, if you put my passport and say I can't travel for 1 year, I don't need passport to travel within the country, do I? And I may not even decide not to. I've not traveled out of this country for the last, since COVID came. It's almost 1.5 years. So you can take your passport. And if I don't need to travel, I don't need to travel. It doesn't stop me from moving around the country. I think that's medicine after death. We should make sure that we catch them before they become a problem to us.
The NCDC has always said that, subnational state governments have a role to play in this. What do you think they're doing? This is to stem the tide of the virus.
Well, I think it's, as you said, it's a national thing, which means it means everybody. In fact, we keep spreading what's the government doing, what's the government doing. The major problem is what we as individuals are doing. The government is not the one spreading the disease. It's me and you who are not wearing our mask, who are not washing our hands, who are still going to all those big parties and attending all those weddings and all those things that are spreading the disease. The government can only give information. If you don't believe your government and you don't trust what the government is saying, then we have more responsibility as individuals in the spread of this disease. And the variants we are getting is only because we're allowing this virus to transmit from person to person. It's like your mobile phone. When you put your mobile phone, that's where it is. It becomes mobile only when you carry it around. We are the one carrying these viruses around and getting variants out of them. If we do our role, the government's role will be quite minimal. But then we are not following even the guidelines that the government is giving. Even some of the government people are not even following the rules they are giving. We see some of, I don't want to mention names, but I remember there was one thing that Punch brought out, where my president had his mask on and then went into the hall, the big hall, and I removed his mask. Those are the kind of things we're saying. You cannot be saying one thing and do another thing.
Finally, let's quickly get your thoughts. I mean, we just received the Moderna vaccine. What's your take on it, especially for those who feel that some people say they've gotten the AstraZeneca at the beginning, but they couldn't complete their full dose. Should they be given the Moderna vaccine?
For now, the MPACDA is not mixing vaccine. So those who got the first dose of AstraZeneca will have to wait when we get the next donation. I don't know when that will occur. But for now, I mean, the Moderna people, just get your Moderna, your 2 doses, and let's not mix things up. It's going to be a lot of confusion because we're going to have people who have 1 dose of Moderna, 1 dose of AstraZeneca, and then another dose of Moderna. So right now, let's be patient enough until these batches for the, I don't think there are many who have not received the AstraZeneca 2nd dose. But whatever happens, my advice is let's wait until we get that AstraZeneca coming in. Those who have Moderna, let them use Moderna as it is. But let our government go and buy vaccines, not waiting for donation.
We always appreciate your time on the program. Thank you so much, Professor Tomori, Professor Virologist. Thank you for joining us on the program.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
We have more on the global trends of COVID-19 when we return. Please stay with us.